So today we're sitting on our customer's 1971 GMC C15. Cab's already off of it. Phil's been tearing it up. Had this cab off in like 3 hours. Not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive. Customer brought us this and assumed that he needed some rocker panels and cab corners. And so I said, send it on down. And we started the work and we realized like this is much more than just rocker panels and cab corners. This needs cab supports. It needs an entire floor. I mean, just look at it here.
It's totally gone.
It's just completely gone. And what was the giveaway was, as you can see the whole cab really flexing, and that happened even while it was bolted to the frame. So
like even back here.
Yeah, so
it's just gone.
Oh yeah. So I talked with the customer and I said, look, I think it's probably best if we just swap the whole cab out. You know, he knows his truck, but he's not a huge car guy. And he's like, how is that going to be cheaper than just fixing what I have? I had to kind of explain to him that we would have to go through, drill out all the plug welds, get body separators under there, start hammering it out, removing it after we had built an internal structure inside of the cab. So then you're gonna have to repaint the cab after we cut that all out. All the geometric considerations that come into doing this, you can't just cut all this stuff out of this thing. It'll just basically collapse on itself. So you build a, waist-high roll cage essentially throughout the entire thing to give it structure while you do all the rust repairs, and then you cut it loose and do your fine tuning at the end, make sure it goes back onto the cab supports. I told him, I said, it's probably 40 to 60 hours at least to get into that. And I said, we can swap a cab out with one that's in a lot better shape. It ended up working out really well. We got him a truck with a bed and a cab. I think he's gonna end up paying about $2,500 for it, which is an absolute steal in my opinion, because here's his new bed. Needs some prep work before we do the paint on it. But if you look at his original bed, it's in pretty rough shape. And the bed supports are in pretty rough shape. There's a really cool story behind this truck. He kind of gave us the overview. He bought this truck for a little over $1,000, and he said it was every dollar he had. He lived in this truck for like 5 years while he was building his business, and now he's done well enough for himself. He's moving into a like 10,000 square foot office building that is just completely brand new. So he's done really well for himself, and he wants to just always remember this truck. At some point along the way, he sold the truck and wanted it back, and he was looking for it for years, trying to just do VIN searches and find out where it was. He said he found it one day on the side of the road, parked in the grass. The wheels had been stolen off of it, and it was sitting on cinder blocks. He said it still had my stuff in the interior. He's like, I knew it was my truck right away. Left a note on the window, and when the cops came to impound it, because it had sat there so long, they told the guy that owned the truck that there's a note here, somebody wants it. And so he called him up and he said, come grab it, it's yours for $1,000 or whatever he got it back for. Truck came back into his life, and he's been slowly kind of getting it back on the road and driving it here and there, but now he's ready to do the full shebang. It's a little overview of what we're gonna do before Phil tells you what the technical details of it, but we're gonna do a patina style restoration. We're gonna try to keep it looking just like he always knew it, which is as you see it now. So that's gonna involve getting the rust repaired, getting rid of any major corrosion. We're doing all new trim. The interior is gonna be completely redone. That won't be patina at all. That'll be brand new. Then we're gonna do our patina paint job on top. We're gonna do an all new exhaust system with some cutouts and stuff in it. Trim's being replaced, lights are being replaced. We'll probably clean up a ton of stuff along the way. It will always look and feel like his truck. However, it's gonna be reliable and enjoyable again. So whenever he wants to get back in it and remember the good old days when he's starting his business, this truck is gonna serve that purpose exactly and serve it well, except for he's gonna be able to do that whenever he wants. If he wants to let it sit for a few weeks or a month, no big deal. Get in, turn the key, fire it up, take it for a cruise. No more electrical issues, no more carburetor top end issues or whatever. We're gonna have it ironed out for him completely. And so Phil's gonna take lead on pretty much all of that and break it down, so I'll let him tell you guys.
That's what I have planned for it right now, since that cab there was I guess, a factory AC truck at one point. Really haven't stared at the controls on it yet. But this cab I found was a factory AC truck. So it's a factory AC truck cab going with a factory AC truck cab. Usually they don't have a center vent in the middle. Both of these do, which is pretty rare in itself when it comes to trying to find a cab with AC. And it looks like everything on that box is still all put together and everything. So all we need to do is just change out the evaporator, POA valve, just everything to do with the AC stuff, change all that out. Fix some of the rust that's in it. This cab isn't like super perfect, but it's a whole lot better than the customer's cab here. And it has typical little bit of rocker rust right here, and then through there, which it's nothing compared to what we have to do on the other one. We pretty much have to chop the bottom end completely off and just start fresh. I searched for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then I finally found this truck here and told Brad, and I was like, hey, let's go get it. It'll be a whole lot cheaper. Talk to the customer about it, and the customer was like, I'm game for that. And so got this in. And it's pretty much what we're trying to do is just replicate the patina on that, which is pretty easy. I've done it for years now. It just takes a little bit of time and effort. We're gonna make it pretty cool for him. Like he wants, like on this fender over here, we're probably gonna have to split fenders because we have a whole new front end on this other one. He wants to keep this fender with a dent in it because one of his ex-girlfriends ran into the back of it when he was in high school. So we're gonna keep that. We're probably gonna change out this fender here because it looked like it got smashed in the front and there's a lot of Bondo. So we're gonna swap that out, swap out the inner fenders. The inner fenders are just completely gone. You can see right here, all the rust right there, rust here. There's probably, yeah, rust underneath there. You can see you got ventilation right here. It's starting to give out right there, right there. So he's gonna get new inner fenders. And then since this truck is a Chevrolet and we're doing a GMC, all you really need to do, if I wanted to, I could use that front clip, and all you need to do is just change out this front radiator support because it has the dual bucket headlights, and then everything will just bolt right up. That's one thing I love about Chevrolets and GMCs. They're all in the same family. It's easy.
Oh yeah, another thing we're doing, he actually wants to keep the old cab and he's gonna put it in his office. And so we're gonna clean it up a little bit and take out, there's a couple good parts in there still that we'll need for the swap. And we'll build a nice little frame for it to kind of cradle it, and then he'll be able to roll it around and put it wherever he wants in his office. And then whenever he actually wants to get in his old house, he can go back to it and hang out in it. Probably when people come into his business, he can tell the story of why this, you know, rusty old truck is sitting in there, and he spent a long time living in this thing.
But I'm super excited, even though it doesn't seem like I am. Busting my butt getting this thing stripped pretty quickly without really cutting into anything, being a hack job or anything else. So I took every nut and bolt off, packaged everything up, wrote down what it went to, everything else. The only thing I didn't do today was take off the bed, but we'll come up with a game plan for that.